So amongst our team, we talk about three things within the context of the triangle of triumph, and those are the big idea, the mechanism, and the offer. And if you get all three of these things right, then you can be very triumphant in your marketing. And in fact, billion-dollar businesses have been built on this triangle of triumph. A great example is the Dollar Shave Club. And as we get into this, we can consider that as an example. We can consider some of ours as examples. And the offer is truly the alpha and omega. It's where it all comes together. It's the whole sales letter and everything that you're selling summarized in one little block. That's very dense, and it is everything you need to make a sale, so you don't want to leave anything out of it. So let's break down the components of the offer, and then we'll dive into each one and learn about how to rock them. So the components of the offer: you make a promise. You talk about what the outcome is going to be, and of course we've talked about outcomes and promises, so you make a promise. You explain how it will happen. You explain how they will get it, specifically how it's delivered. You tell them about any bonuses they might get. You tell them about pricing, and you make a guarantee. So let's restate those. The components of an offer: you make a big promise. You explain how it will happen. You explain how they'll get it. You tell them about any bonuses. You tell them about pricing, and you make a guarantee. Let's jump in. To make a promise, you want to restate the big idea in super clear terms. How can you be incredibly clear about what somebody is going to get? And this is almost taking the product intro and just condensing it into something that's even more tight. So you want to tell them about what their top 1 to 3 outcomes are going to be. That's the extent of it. That is as much as you want to put into the offer section of your sales copy. If there is any exclusivity, if there's anything special about it, certainly make mention of that here. So if this is a limited time offer, if there's anything that has to happen right then and there, then certainly this is the time to make mention of that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more with the guarantee. But I think at the start, if it is a limited time thing, if it's a test, you do want to mention it in the promise. So that's point 1. Point 2 is you want to explain how it will happen. So this is all work that we've already done. You want to remind them of the mechanism and overcome objections with the mechanism. So to use girlfriend, it'll you'll be using the obsession story. You'll be tuning into her obsession story. The only way to make the woman is biologically programmed to fall for a man, no matter whether he's broke, poor, unattractive, elderly, overweight. Pick your objections. So you want to explain to them how it will happen. You want to explain how they will get it. So what form factor will it take? How quickly will they get it? And are there any advantages to this? So, for many years, we've been selling digital products. We tell people you'll get instant access to the course in our private members community. No waiting for the mailman, no embarrassing packages showing up at your doorstep, just instant discrete access so you can start downloading the course directly from my brain into yours. I've made that pitch once or twice. And in these days, as I mentioned, physical products are really hot. So if we look at Dollar Shave Club, hey, you'll get it delivered to your doorstep once a month, every month, no drama, no hassle. People are really into that these days, and so that's the advantage to that one. So we've made the promise, we've explained how it'll happen, and we'll explain how they'll get it. Are there any bonuses in the course? Now, we've talked about bonuses a little bit already. Let's just round them out and give a little bit more context. The more valuable that a bonus is, the better. So I think I've mentioned this before, but the ideal way that your bonuses should be presented is, I'll throw in a Lamborghini if you buy this Ferrari. So the value of the bonuses should be relatively high if you are going to offer bonuses, and make it so exciting and enticing to buy into this that you just want to get that they want to get the bonus as much as they want the main course. 2 great types of bonuses. So we mentioned this a little bit in the bullet section. One type of bonus that you can throw in is helping the prospect round out their arsenal to add extra effectiveness to the product. So, let's say that the product solves problem A. If you can also throw in bonuses that solve problems B and C, that can round out their arsenal and give them, perhaps mastery over the whole thing that you are helping them solve. You know, if I looked at, what did I just look at today? It was, you know what, it's escaping my mind. If I'll come back to it if I can remember it. But I know I just looked at one like that today. The other type of bonus is to help the prospect shore up weak spots that would hold them back from getting results. So in this sense, it's not, hey, we're going to solve A, B, and C for you. It's, hey, we're going to solve A for you, and within the context of A, we're going to give you this one specific boost right here that's really going to make sure that you get A solved. So if you were to look at some of the bonuses that we have, to give you an example of Girlfriend, we have one called Instant Confidence Upgrade, which is sort of a subliminal mind training course for helping a guy. He puts the audio on and it helps him become more confident as he listens to it. And that is the second type. It's helping them shore up a weak spot, in this case, their confidence. The other one, to round out your arsenal, we have one called the Breathtaking Hello. So we talk about, hey, you know what? Even though you're going to be introduced to a lot of women, you're not going to have to put a lot of work into approaching women. Every now and then you see someone gorgeous walking down the street. You want the skills to approach her. So we're going to give you this bonus called the Breathtaking Hello that's going to give you the skills to approach any woman and have her interested in you in 3 minutes or less. So that's a round out your arsenal rather than a shore up a weak point sort of bonus. And they blur the line a little bit, but if you think about what bonuses you want to offer and you come at it from one or both of those perspectives, you'll come up with some great bonuses. And then you also want to add in the offer section, what is the real value of these bonuses? What would they pay elsewhere? If they were to buy this on your e-commerce site, if they were to buy this from another manufacturer, if they were to buy it on Amazon, if you were to sell it and maybe you don't even sell this, what is the value and what would they pay? Presumably you're including it for free today, and you know, and that's nice. So why? So what is the actual cost that they would have to spend if they were to buy it on their own? And that is going to come into the cost value, the cost equation. So moving along, what does it cost? What is the value of your product? That's the thing that we really want to start with. Because, you know, it's easy to say, I mean, you know, this course, for example, it's me sitting in front of a camera, talking for quite a bit of time, sharing with you some notes. And so it's really just video and audio and text that you're getting. And you know, is there any value in that? Well, if it makes you tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, then the value is really fucking high, which is why I don't have a hard time asking for, you know, a lot of money for this course. So what is the value of your product? Well, it's based on what are the results worth and what have others paid to get these results. You know, I charge $1,000 an hour for copy coaching. So the fact that you're getting 15 hours or more of me sitting here talking to you is worth at least $15,000, maybe minus a little bit of a discount because you're not getting it specifically one-on-one and me working with you. So that's, again, when we're calculating the value of the product, we want to start with what are the results worth and what have others paid to get these results. And then when you add up the product, the results, and the bonuses, what is it worth? One other bit on what have others paid to get these results. If we were to, let's say I was to film this in a, let's say I was to film this in a seminar room, people paid $2,000 to be there, I would definitely mention that. And we do that in many of our courses. So we'll have little seminars, we'll have guys come in, spend a couple grand, and that's to be there to interact with us. So that's what they've paid to get these results. Other people are getting them for 67 or 97 or what have you. So as you're going through the offer, it's what's the value, what are the results worth, what have others paid. When you add up the products and all the value of the bonuses, what's it worth? But today you pay only X, 67, 997, who knows what the cost is. So you are paying much less than others have paid or that you perhaps should be paying to get these results. And I want to ask you how you can reframe the price. So can you reframe the price in the sense of, I remember one of the sales letters we wrote, it was like, when you break that down over the course of a year, that comes out to less than $1 a day. or less than a can of less than a soda can a day. And there's no soda in the world that'll get you laid like the desire system. One of the copywriters wrote that one. We had a chuckle over that line. I don't know how I'm going to reframe the pricing for this one, but just off the top of my head, it could go something like, if you make even $10,000 from this course, you'll have you'll have made 5 times your investment in the course. And good luck making 5 times your investment in the stock market this year. I hope you're a better stock picker than 99% of Wall Street. So we're trying to frame the price in the context of other things that they might be familiar with, or other ways that they might be thinking about spending that money, and saying, hey, this is actually a huge value for the outcome that you're going to receive. And then finally, in the cost, are there any sales or is there any pricing scarcity going on right now? So perhaps when we roll this product out, the first group of customers in the door, I imagine I'll charge less than I will for future customers, or who knows, maybe I'll charge more, I don't know. But if you're having any sales, if there's any pricing scarcity, that can really, really move units, especially if it's legitimate. Whenever we do sales for our products internally, I think I've mentioned this before, but the biggest sales days are always launch day and the day of the sales close by far. So if there's any sales or pricing scarcity around the product, this is where you would mention it. Next step of an offer, what is the guarantee? Now, we've talked about this a little bit already. You absolutely must have a guarantee to remove someone's risk. I've counseled a lot of people who don't believe they need a guarantee because they're just focused on selling their product. Your customer needs a guarantee, and the longer that you can make it, the better. So let me tell you a brief story about this. We did earlier this year. In fact, we were running. How did this happen? We just made a change on our order form. I'm remembering this now. We just made a change on our order form, and we decided that we would change the guarantee on the order form itself from 365 days to 60 days, and that we would add live chat on the order form. And I thought to myself, and this is so stupid of me, I thought, nobody's going to notice the difference between 2 months and a year. I mean, 2 months is a long freaking time. Like, do they really need more than that as a guarantee? And then we thought adding live chat on the order form would just help prospective customers make a decision if they were lost. All of a sudden, our conversions started dropping without us really knowing why, and our media buys weren't working, we're not profitable. And finally, an affiliate contacted us, and he'd been driving traffic directly from his review site to our order form page. And he said, guys, I don't know if you know, but my order form conversions are down by half. And I looked at it, and you changed some things on there. And we thought to ourselves, could that be it? So at that point, we did what we should have done in the start, which is a 4-way split test. The 2 variations were were 365 versus 60, and the live chat versus no live chat. And the original, the control, won. 365 guarantee with no live chat. So shame on us for rolling that out without testing it. We learned our lesson. We have a new protocol now whenever we implement a change. And we've even set up 2 different funnels for our, what we would call our control offers, so that we don't fuck with anything that's working. And if we're rolling out new split tests, they're not having a negative impact on conversions. Again, lesson learned, 365 versus 60. At the time I record this, we're actually about to roll out a 5-year guarantee and see if that works. Now, depending on your payment processor, you may or may not be able to do this. I know, for example, ClickBank does not allow more than 60-day guarantees at this point, but my understanding is that they are working on rolling that out soon. The guarantee, the longer that you can make it, in my experience, the better off you're going to be. What are the terms of guarantee? So can you come up with any insane or outlandish terms related to your promise? So, the girlfriend system one, we came out with a really interesting guarantee. It was, you can return it any time in the next 365 days if you don't like it, you don't like the way I look, my voice, my hair, any of it. Already kind of funny. And then we came up with the girlfriend guarantee. We said, if you buy this in the next if you buy this and you put it to use and you get a girlfriend the next 6 weeks, just send me a couple photos of her, nothing compromising, just stuff that you would post on Facebook, and I'll refund you, because we want to encourage the guys who buy this to actually get into the course and use it. 89% of our customers repurchase additional products from us, so this is just a little test right now. We're running this for a few days, and and we want to see if you're going to buy additional products, and if you get in and you have success, then we want to reward you for having success. So the promise is get a girlfriend in 6 weeks or less, and the outlandish, crazy, insane terms are, if you get a girlfriend in 6 weeks or less, send me some photos and I'll refund your money. So that was a big conversion boost when we rolled that one out. So think about your promise. I'm already thinking about what guarantees I might offer for the money button, whether I would pay someone if they have a certain increase in their ROI, or cut money off, or who knows what. I'm sure we'll test it and we'll play with it. Another thing with respect to your guarantee is, why should they believe that you will honor it? Do you have US-based support? Are you 24/7? Do you have a Better Business Bureau ranking? What are the things that should make them think, okay, this is a company that I can trust, that I can do business with, and that they will honor their guarantee? This might be a great place for their testimonial. And finally, how will you secure their order? So this is a very important part of the guarantee. In the first world, we're pretty used to buying things online, but it's still helpful to have reassurances that our credit cards aren't going to be stolen. So we say things like, all orders are submitted on 256-bit encryption. Your credit cards are never stored as plain text. We can, humanize. We'll never see anything other than the last 4 digits of your credit card, which this is all true. So we're PCI compliant. Nobody knows what that means, so we just kind of explain what that means. And people want to know that, and that helps. So those are the elements of a great offer. Let's review them. You make a compelling promise. You explain how it'll happen. You explain how they'll get it. You tell them about any bonuses. You tell them about pricing, and then you make a guarantee. So how do you know that you've got a great offer? Well, you can distill all the major points that we just went through into 1 or 2 sentences. That's it. Now, you may need some more to ultimately say what you want to say, but if you can distill everything into 1 or 2 sentences, then you've narrowed down your offer into something that you could pitch to anyone and you could expand on as necessary. These sentences should be completely clear. Every single sentence is like just crystal clear about what it is saying and the effects that it is having with respect to these components. And of course, you've got a great offer if it's exciting and compelling. If people want to buy it, if you're excited about it, and if you feel jazzed as you read this, you're like, fuck yeah, like I'm excited to get out there and sell this. So that is how you know that you've got a great offer. We have included in the workbook some offer templates. So go have a look at those and see what you can come up with on your own. The offer, as I mentioned, this is the alpha and omega. This is the thing that is going to make people purchase it or not. And everything that we've done up to this point is in preparation to make this pitch, to talk about the offer. So your whole business model, if you're Dollar Shave Club, is in preparation to talk about this offer. And offers can have billion-dollar impacts. So I know that this is a very short section relative to the gravity of the offer, but everything that we've done up to this point has prepared us to do this, and now it's just about applying the offer to the templates that we've provided and making sure that you hit all the key components of a compelling offer. So that, my friends, is the offer, and that brings us to the last piece of the sales letter, which is the close.